Hello and welcome back to Paragon at last. As many of you know, I've not touched Paragon on the channel or on the stream for over 3 months, so let's get to the obvious question, which is, why did I stop playing? Simply put, I do love the game and the people behind it, but I found myself waiting for the upcoming changes and updates more than actually enjoying the current game. In fact, I wasn't happy with where it was overall, and as you saw towards the time I stopped playing and making videos and all that, I only really ever made videos about suggestions and discussions about the current state of the game and my hopes of what might help fix it. Basically trying to help push it in the right direction. But at the end of the day, that's not really what I know, and I figured, why don't I just step back, stop playing the game, stop complaining in any way, let the professionals do their job, and come back when there's some substantial changes that made the game better, visually and of course functionally. And of course, sure enough, they did. Here's a quick recap of some of the major changes that I missed. The 4 new characters that have been added to the game that I haven't seen and I wasn't playing when they were introduced, with their various playstyles, one of which plus the boundaries of what Paragon can be as a MOBA with its potential. So, welcome to Hollow's Quickfire Character Review. Let's start with Aurora, who was released just after I stepped away from the game. She's basically an ice mage who gets impersonal with her sword, freezing foes to slow them or snare them with fantastic visuals and movement. Now, a good pickup for the game's roster of characters because she's a good solo laner, she can be a mid, she could even be a support if you run her that way, and also potentially a jungle, which is very strange to see, but TO have actually let me know that they're thinking about running her as a jungler, so she's got a lot of versatility and a solid character all around, and I give her like a 7 out of 10 rating because she's visually pleasing with solid gameplay and can really do a lot of things, obviously, but she isn't anything to push the boat out over because she's not that unique. If you think about it, she could be in any other MOBA. Next, Paragon was hit by the K-pop wonder girl, or whatever, Shinbi. What can I say? Honestly, I don't know what to say. If I lied right now and said that I like this character, I wouldn't expect you to value anything I ever say. I'll be fucking brutally honest. I don't like this character. I think she does not fit in this game at all. She comes across as a character designed to pander to certain players or audiences, and I get why a business would want to do that. But Paragon came out originally with this magical cinematic that set the tone and pace of the world. It was mysterious, it was fantastic. Epic Games has succeeded at creating this feeling of, well, epic, you know, serious. And then, meanwhile, I just don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Anyway, if you ignore the character design and the lore and all that faff, she's visually kind of interesting, right? She does have these cool wolves. I do like them a lot. And, well, the abilities are kind of basic, but they're interesting enough. But none of them are special in any way. They could fit into any other MOBA. You'd expect them in any other MOBA. There probably is those. There's nothing about this that is unique to Paragon except for the cool, like, sparkly design, I guess. 4 out of 10. As disheartening as that was to me, Epic came back with the next character, which in my opinion is the best character in the game. Yin. Holy shit, you cannot go wrong with a lightsaber whip, can you? Ignore the whip, hang on, take a step back, look away from the whip and look at the abilities. Honestly fucking wow. She has the reflect ability, it's god tier. In a game with this many hard stuns, a parry style ability is awesome. Then the ultimate, where she slows down time in this sort of vortex around her. You can see the bullets slow down, rocks get stuck in there and so on. If you're dumb, you can actually walk into the rock and still get stunned by it even though it's slowed. You can sidestep them after the time speeds up again, and you can even reflect it all back at once. That's so cool. Not to mention the fucking lightsaber whip. I mean, they've won all the prizes there. The sound effect of it in game is so satisfying. It's a sick whip, dude. I will say, her clothing, you know, the actual character, ignore the weapon for a second. Her clothing and design is pretty bland and boring. She looks like the last 3 female characters, exact same movement, and nothing special about her like clothing, like I say. But we got a lightning whip, so it's fine. Oh, and she's the first melee carry that feels like, well, a proper one, because it's not really melee. She's got a slightly bigger attack range than a standard melee character, and can temporarily increase the attack range to full-on range. That's the stuff right there, man. 9 out of 10, fantastic job. And finally, the most recent hero to come out is Maura, the creepy voodoo woman who hasn't washed in a very long time. Ooh, just look at that. Very different to the other character designs, but it fits in this world really, really well. You know, unlike Shinbi. I'm a big fan of this character. The ability gameplay-wise, she's probably the easiest character in the game. Target spells, huge range attacks, even got that sweet global element where she stabs a voodoo doll of her target, doing insane damage. And because she was just so straightforward, so easy, like Chimera, she was quickly nerfed because she was just too good. But I like where she's at now. Great character design to go with solid gameplay, just like Aurora. Once again, it's a 7 out of 10. And so ends my quickfire review of the new characters. But now we're caught up with that, let's look at the less important but cool features that have been added in as well. For example, banners, which is something I actually saw back in August at Epic HQ last year. Originally, they were going to be this thing that would slam down upon killing an enemy, but it was really big, very invasive, and obviously needed a lot more work. Now, they've actually become this subtle, nice thing that shows up for a few moments after you do land a kill, or if you get a last hit on a tower, your banner will then appear where that tower died for the rest of the game. It's just kind of neat. Then we got things like daily reward systems that have been added to provide players that extra reward each time they play the game. Simply log in and get something cool or useful. And if you manage to do that all the way to 30 days, then you get a fantastic Twin Blast skin for free. Now that right there, props for that system, Epic. That's very sweet. But on top of that, there's also daily quests, so go get some games in and do some missions like kill 100 minions or win 2 games or whatever. You know, you get rewards for doing some simple tasks. They're straightforward with valid and useful rewards like rep, coins, packs, and so on. And they added a new currency, which is stars. Now, as you collect stars, you begin to power up chests. Chests are just given to you every few days. Every time you play and get some stars, you'll get like a bronze chest. But the more you play, the more stars you get. You upgrade these chests from bronze to silver to gold to diamond. Now, as you upgrade them, the better quality of the things inside of the chest. So more rep, better skins, more card packs, coins, and more, which is very cool. As you play more and earn more, you get better rewards. And I think that's a really good reason, yet another, to regularly play. And I really like this system. While we're on the topic of skins, many skins have actually been given color variation now. One of my favorite things about Overwatch is their skin system. The designs are always cool, but often I'm not a fan of the original color scheme that they chose. Thankfully, there's always an alternate color set up for that skin that I might prefer. And we finally see that in Paragon now. Not for every skin, mind, but it's a lot of them. And as you see here, while I blast through some of the options that you have, it can make some skins look way better, or funnily way worse if that's your thing. So it's great to see this in game, but I do actually remember people being very mad about this. They couldn't get the colors they wanted because it's like only possible to get them through opening chests or loot crates that you have to pay for, or RNG and all that. So you can't specifically get the skin color that you want a lot of the time. It takes a lot of opening. So I was thinking, why can't they just make it so you spend a bit of rep, like maybe a fair amount of rep, to buy the skin color you want, you know, similar to the coin system that's in Overwatch. Seems like a straightforward solution to me that fixes everyone's issues with having too much rep at the same time, but at the same time as well, that would mean less reason to buy crates, which is a big source of Paragon's income, so I can also get why they're not doing that currently. Moving forward, that is definitely not all of the changes that have happened in the 3 months that I've been playing. There's been tons of updates in terms of buffs and nerfs and changes to the meta of the game, but I don't want to get too nitty-gritty on that stuff just yet. Let's just cover the major stuff, and if we're going to talk about aesthetic stuff and rather than the actual statistic stuff, let's talk about my favorite update, the map update. At last. Now let's be honest, original Monolith looked like crap. It was dark, grey, horrid textures, or rather lack of textures, were just littered across the map, and it looked, well, very alpha. And that's kind of because it was his first version that we got to play of that map. It was in no means the final design, but it was just so important that they released this map, released Monolith, given the state of Legacy back then, so I get it. Now, I hope to see this visual update a bit sooner than we actually did, but either way, it is finally here. And check it out, we have lush grass all over the map with a sleek look over both bases as well. That stark contrast between dawn and dusk remains, but thankfully, dusk doesn't look so bland and grey and off-coloured, foggy and gross anymore. It actually feels like the life has come to Monolith, which is fantastic. My biggest issue with visuals on Monolith was just how goddamn good your character would look running around, attacking, doing their animations. Then you've got this really bland, alpha-looking map to run around on. This cool character, horrendous-looking map. It just really clashed. And you've got to look at the map every single game, so it wasn't great, man. And now, in comparison to that, when I play today, I cannot help but enjoy this new style and update to the visuals. It is crisp in a word. Now, certainly there's more visual updates to be done to the game yet. It's not done, but this has been a big one because they didn't just change the visuals, they also cleaned up things like jungle positioning. The amber links are more centralized, the jungle camps are more organized in this nice circular fashion. Raptors have their own pit and look a lot better, though admittedly that pit for the raptors, it does also need some more updates. Like, it still looks a bit bare after all. But then we shoot over to Prime and god damn, look at this guy. He's got so slick with his purple aura about him, this nice like Tron vibe or whatever that is. Prime has steadily looked better and better over time, which is very cool. But overall, I'm really happy with the map update, and now I don't think there's any pressure on Epic to bring that visual quality up anymore. It's where it needs to be, where it should be for now, and that gives them time to work on what they need to, the pure functionality of the game and adding what they want to. Being back in game has been great so far. With the new characters, the rewards, and the smooth feel of Monolith, it's just been a pleasure to return. I've been laying the smackdown on my alt account while I've been relearning the ins and outs of the game, trying to work back up to being able to play on the main account at that level and actually hopefully get better than I was. The sheer change in meta has been a lot to understand and try to learn, and it's been great to come back with that drive to improve. I've been blasting out games off camera and streaming it too naturally. We've already had some gut-busting funny moments, so if you've missed the streams, check out the VODs on the Twitch channel. The support with the Paragon community since my return and the many great friends that I've made while playing the game. God, it's been fantastic. But for the last few days, I have been bashing my head on my desk, just waiting to stop being ill so I can stream and make videos again. And yeah, my voice is probably still off in this video given my sore throat, but I can't wait any longer. I have to make this video. My other series on the channel are still going to continue as this flu finally fucks off, and Paragon's going to come back in full force at last as well. Thank you for all the support. More soon. I will see you guys next time.